Earlier, when the rain started, it would rain slowly, but now the rain comes with great strength. They call that climate change. The seasons of the weather have changed from what they once were.
For centuries, farmers have used natural indicators to predict the weather and decide when to plant. How wild plants flower or where birds make their nests can indicate how the rains and cropping season will be. I look at the kariba plant to see if there will be a good potato yield. This plant flowered so heavily that its branches started to droop. This told us that there would be a good yield, and there really was a good yield. While the clouds or color of the sky may reveal how the weather will be the next day, there are now also modern tools that help predict the weather in the short term. These tools support local knowledge. Many farmers now have smartphones and they use apps and social media. Several apps forecast the weather for the next week.
One knows when the rains will arrive, at what time it will freeze, and when it will hail. This way we can follow the weather, and that helps us.
Many rural people share weather forecasts with their friends on WhatsApp. I receive notices through WhatsApp that it is time to plant, and I communicate that with the others so they can get ready. In this video, farmers in the highlands of Bolivia will show us how they make use of an app called Weather Underground.
It indicates the possibilities of rain, the speed that the wind might have, and the low temperatures that might be. So according to the forecast, we plan our work when we can more or less grow the crop. It is a tool that helps us to plan our work in agriculture.
But sometimes modern forecasts are incorrect. So, natural indicators are as important to predict the weather, especially in the long term. The weather forecast on a phone app is for the short term, a week or less, and they can complement the farmer's forecasts, which are for several weeks or months. The forecasts help us, but the flowering of Sankayu also helps us. When it has many flowers, this tells us it is time to plant. When the fog settles on the eucalyptus like a little mountain, this tells us that it is going to rain, and it always does. But it will not rain right away. The next week or the following week, there will be a gentle rain. Weather Underground is the name of a weather app, which is easy and free to download on your cell phone. The app makes weather forecasts every day for a week. The data is updated constantly if you have an internet connection. The forecast from Weather Underground is more accurate if there is a weather station near your village. Weather stations on Earth measure the temperature, rain and wind in the place where they are installed. Don Francisco has a weather station behind his house, installed by a university that collaborates with farmers.
Ya bueno, ¿qué estación funciona bien, no? Entonces,
The weather data are sent to a satellite via Wi-Fi, and this is sent to all those people who have installed the app on their phone. The data from this station are shared with people up to 15 kilometers from here.
Forecasts on radio or TV are less reliable than those on your mobile, as they only present weather information from a few places, especially from cities. The radio broadcast tells us that it is going to rain. In the city of La Paz, it will rain a lot. That is what we hear. But here, it does not rain. Here, it only sprinkles. A cell phone app is better because it gives you the forecast for your place. To use Weather Underground on your phone, you need an internet connection. First, download the Weather Underground app from Play Store. Once you have installed it, open the app and select Current Location, so it will show you the weather in your area. When the app asks you if you want to configure Smart Forecast, click on Close, because the Smart Forecast is more useful for sports, but not so much for agriculture. To understand the numbers shown by the app, you may need to change some of the values to ones that you know, since the app is pre-configured in English units. First, touch the symbol with the 3 dots in the upper right part. Select Settings, then the option Units. Change Fahrenheit to Celsius, which is the same thing as centigrade and is the scale for measuring the temperature in almost all countries. Select millimeters for rain. This will tell us how much it will rain. Barometric pressure comes pre-configured and it is not necessary to change it. Select kilometers per hour for the wind speed. To read and understand the data, we return to the main screen with the back arrow, clicking on it twice. So, what parts does Weather Underground have? First, in the top center, we see in black letters the name of the community where we are, and in blue, we see the name of the weather station that is closest to us. In the center left of the screen, a big circle with a number shows us the current temperature. Above that number, there are 2 small numbers separated by a line. The number to the left shows the maximum temperature of the day, and the one on the right shows us the minimum temperature. On the right, the screen shows us the location map of the region where we are. Below the circle, it shows us the condition of the sky and the probability of rain for the day. That is, if the number is 50%, it might rain or not. If the number is close to 100%, it will probably rain. But if it is close to 0%, it will probably not rain. To the right, the screen shows the wind speed and where the wind is coming from. N is north, E is east, S is south, W is west. So, SE is southeast. Below those numbers, we see the quantity of rain in millimeters. Go down the screen to the forecast section, which shows us the daily forecast for the next 7 days. Then look at the drawings of the sky for each day. These drawings show us, for example, if it is sunny or cloudy. Below that, we see the maximum and minimum temperature for each day. If the minimum temperature is 0 or a negative number, it will probably freeze.
It tells us what day the rain might arrive, in what day it will be cloudy, in what day it might freeze, what day it will start to warm up, even when it will be very hot. It indicates to us 0 degrees, 1 degree. From these numbers we can learn.
Then we see a little circle with an arrow telling us the wind direction. Up is north and down is south. The right is east. Next to the wind direction is a number indicating the maximum speed the wind will reach. A wind speed of 50 kilometers per hour is very strong. It knocks over the cereal plants in the field. Pressing the forecast for any day will show us what the weather will be like every hour.
Now that we manage it, I can plan my activities well. When I see the forecast, I am more sure how the weather will be.
Once we have learned to use the app, we can teach our family and neighbors how to use it. When all members of the family know how the weather will be in coming days, you can make farming decisions together. Let's review what we have learned in this video. You can use the mobile phone to know what the weather will be like for the next 7 days and hour by hour. Configure the Weather Underground app so that all figures and numbers make sense to you. Every day or every moment, we can check the app on our phone to know if it is going to rain, if it will be windy, or to find out if it will be hot or cold for the next 7 days. When we combine the information given by the app with our own experience, we can make better farming decisions.
We have to make good use of the cell phones that forecast the weather, because this helps us a lot. Nowadays, in our community, we have the habit to protect our crops from the bad weather, so there will be no lack of food, so that there will be food security.